How a failed athlete built Nike. Every legend has Nike on their feet. Messi, Ronaldo, Serena, LeBron. But the man who built it all, he couldn't even win his own races. This is the story of Phil Knight, the failed athlete who created Nike. Born in 1938 in Portland, Oregon, Phil Knight dreamed of being a track star. He ran for the University of Oregon under legendary coach Bill Bowerman. But while teammates broke records, Knight was just another runner in the pack. He never became a champion. Still, he admired Bowerman's obsession, constantly tinkering with running shoes to make athletes faster. And that obsession lit a spark. Knight realized, maybe he couldn't win medals, but what if he could build the shoes that helped others win? After college, Knight took a leap. In 1962, he flew to Japan with a crazy idea: import high-quality but affordable Japanese running shoes to challenge German giants like Adidas and Puma. Somehow, against all odds, he convinced Onitsuka, the makers of Tiger shoes, to give him a distribution deal. Back in the US, he started small. Knight sold shoes from the trunk of his car at track meets. The company was called Blue Ribbon Sports. It didn't look like a billion-dollar empire. It looked like a desperate side hustle. But Knight had something powerful: belief. He worked as an accountant by day, but every spare moment went into selling shoes. And when Bowerman joined him as a partner, designing better models, sales slowly picked up. Then came the first disaster. By the early 1970s, Onitsuka pulled the deal and sued Knight. Blue Ribbon Sports was nearly destroyed. The dream looked over. But instead of quitting, Knight gambled everything. He would launch his own brand, and that's when Nike was born. The name came from the Greek goddess of victory, the swoosh, a design he bought from a student for just $35. At first, Knight admitted he didn't even like it, but he didn't need to love the logo. He just needed to love the mission. Nike's first breakthrough came with Bowerman's wild experiment: pouring rubber into a waffle iron. Out came the waffle trainer, a shoe with grip and speed like nothing before. It was a hit. By the mid-70s, Nike was no longer a scrappy side hustle. It was a real competitor. But success came with fear. Nike was growing fast, but the company was drowning in debt. Banks wanted their money. Lawsuits kept piling up. Knight later admitted in his memoir, Shoe Dog, "For years, I was always just a few months away from going under." And then came the decision that changed everything. In 1984, Nike signed a rookie basketball player who wasn't yet a superstar, Michael Jordan. Nobody knew if it would work. Adidas and Converse were already giants in basketball. Nike was taking a gamble. But when Air Jordans launched, the gamble paid off bigger than anyone imagined. Nike expected $3 million in sales in year one. Instead, $126 million. From that moment, Nike wasn't just selling shoes. It was selling culture, identity, a statement. With 3 words, just do it, Nike became more than a brand. It became a global movement. Today, Nike is worth over $180 billion. It outfits the greatest athletes on the planet: Serena Williams, LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo, Tiger Woods. And it all started with a failed runner selling shoes out of his car trunk. Phil Knight never won Olympic medals, but he built the shoes that won medals for others. And that's the reminder: you don't need to be the star to change the game. You just need the vision and the courage to keep running when everyone else stops. Here's a quick question: would Nike exist today if Phil Knight had played it safe?